Hello, chosen one. You didn't find this video by accident. You didn't choose this video. It chose you. Your soul brought you here because you're ready. Because something deep within you has been whispering, aching for something more. Something you couldn't name, but you could feel. And that feeling was never random. It was always the beginning of your awakening. You've always known you were different. Even in a crowded room, you felt alone. Even when everything looked fine on the outside, something inside felt empty or restless or broken. You tried to silence it, distract it, bury it, but it never left. Because that ache, that wasn't weakness. That was your soul remembering something ancient, something sacred, a life you were meant to live, but hadn't yet stepped into. This world tried to convince you that your sensitivity was a flaw, that your depth was too much, that your desire to feel more, to know more, to be more, was unrealistic. So you learned to dim your light, to shrink your voice, to play the roles, wear the masks, and survive. But deep down, your soul never forgot. You always knew you were meant for something greater. You just didn't know how to find it. And maybe you're still searching for home, not a place, but a feeling. The feeling of being whole, of being aligned, of being fully you. Let me tell you something. That longing you carry isn't a mistake. It's your divine compass. It's the proof that your soul came here with a mission. You didn't come to fit in. You came to awaken, to rise, to remember. The pain you felt was not punishment. It was preparation, a sacred signal that you are not ordinary. You are chosen. And chosen souls always feel the weight of the world a little deeper, because they came here to lift it. Not through force, but through frequency. Not by noise, but by presence. You were not lost. You were hidden for a time. Not to be forgotten, but to be formed. Formed in the fires of silence, in the stillness where true power is born. Here's your awakening insight. You're not broken, you're breaking open, and everything that hurt you is now making space for the light you were born to carry. It's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to have moments where it feels like nothing makes sense. Because all of that is part of the calling. And the calling isn't loud, it's soft. It sounds like a whisper that says, there is more. More to life, more to you, more to your purpose. And this moment is the beginning of that remembrance. As we move deeper, let's walk gently into the next chapter of your journey. The chapter where we explore why your pain wasn't random and how it was meant only for you. Do you know why it's felt so heavy? Why your path seemed harder than everyone else's? Why you faced storms that no one saw coming and had to survive them without help? It's not because you were forgotten, it's because you were being forged. Life placed mountains in front of you that others never even had to see. And still, you climbed, alone, wounded, tired, but you climbed anyway. You cried in silence, not because you were weak, but because you were carrying battles meant for your becoming. While others had ease, you had intensity. While others were comforted, you were tested. Not because the universe was against you, but because your soul chose a higher path. And higher paths come with heavier assignments. There were moments you were misunderstood. People judged you without ever knowing what you were holding inside. But that was part of it too. The isolation, the silence, the invisible battles. Because chosen ones don't grow in applause. They grow in the dark, in the places no one claps for, in the quiet moments where strength is born in secret. You weren't cursed, you were called. And the pain you endured, the betrayals, the delays, the disappointments, they weren't blocks, they were blueprints. Each one was designing a resilience in you that can't be taken away. Others may not see it, but you've already overcome more than most ever will. You've healed from things that were meant to destroy you. You've risen from places that should have kept you buried. And that is your proof. You are not ordinary. You were chosen. Here's your awakening.
Insight, everything that was meant to break you has already failed. And what's left now is power, not the loud, showy kind,
but the sacred kind, the kind born from surviving what others couldn't even imagine. Your trials were never random. They were designed to strip away what was false and awaken what was divine. Yes, it was hard. Yes, it was lonely. Yes, you questioned if you'd make it, but you did, and that means the story isn't ending. It's just beginning. You've already walked through fire. Now it's time to realize that fire didn't burn you. It birthed you. Let's move forward. Because in the next part of your journey, you'll begin to see how the very things that hurt you were preparing you to heal others. There was a moment when your chest felt too heavy to breathe, when your heart sank so deep you wondered if it would ever rise again, when every prayer felt unanswered and every step forward felt like sinking deeper into quicksand. You whispered, "I can't do this anymore." You meant it. You were done, exhausted, broken in ways words couldn't explain. But here you are, still breathing, still rising, still listening. And that is a miracle. What you didn't know in those moments, the ones where you felt furthest from the light, is that the divine was closer than ever. It's not when we're standing tall that we are most open to transformation. It's when we're on our knees, when the ego breaks, when the illusions shatter, when we reach the edge and whisper, "I surrender." That is the doorway to rebirth. Your breaking point was never meant to end you. It was meant to remake you. Because before the soul steps into its true power, it must be emptied of what it is not. The pain you felt, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. The people who walked away, they were never meant to walk with you through the next chapter. The things that crumbled, they weren't built on your truth. So when it all felt like it was falling apart, it was actually falling into place. Here's your awakening insight. Your greatest breakdown was secretly your greatest breakthrough. It's the moment the universe whispered, "You've gone as far as you can on your own. Now let me carry you." When the light seemed far away, it was actually buried inside of you, waiting to be remembered. You didn't give up. You transcended. You crossed a sacred threshold, one only the chosen ever find. And that moment, the one that almost ended you, was actually the one that awakened you. You're not behind. You're not late. You're not broken. You are exactly where you're meant to be, on the other side of surrender, stronger, wiser, closer to your purpose than ever before. Let's keep walking, because what comes next is the revelation of why you survived. While you questioned your worth, while you looked at others and wondered why their path seemed easier, something sacred was unfolding behind the scenes. You weren't falling apart. You were falling into alignment. Even in the silence, when it felt like nothing was happening, everything was happening. The divine doesn't rush its masterpieces. And you, dear soul, are one of them. While you felt like a failure, you were being trained in the art of resilience. While you felt forgotten, your soul contract was being activated. While you doubted your voice, life was preparing the message only you could deliver. Chosen ones rarely recognize themselves in the beginning, because your story was never meant to look like theirs. You were designed to be different, to question everything, to break patterns, to shake systems, to remember truth. The pain that made you feel unworthy, it actually made you real. The isolation that felt like abandonment, it was actually divine positioning. Because in the stillness, you started hearing the whispers of who you really are. You were always becoming what you couldn't yet see. Here's your soul awakening insight. Every wound you've carried was coded with wisdom. Every tear held an assignment. Every delay was sacred timing. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. Prepared to lead, to heal, to awaken, to speak words that reach the souls no one else can touch. Because only the wounded can speak to the wounded. Only the broken can build bridges back to the light. And only the ones who've walked through fire can carry divine fire inside them. So no, you were never late. You were being divinely timed. Every step, every heartbreak, every silence, it was your becoming. You didn't need to know the plan. You only needed to become the one ready to receive it. And now, that time has come. You are no longer becoming. You are remembering. Everything you needed is already within you. It always was. Now it's time to rise, not as someone chasing destiny, but as someone finally embodying it. Let's keep moving forward, because your light is no longer meant to hide. It's meant to lead. This moment, right here, is not a coincidence. You didn't find this message. This message found you, because your spirit has been whispering for a while now, and finally, you're ready to hear it. This is the moment your soul has been waiting for, the quiet yes, the sacred shift, the decision to remember who you are. You've spent years trying to shrink yourself to fit in, to be accepted, to not stand out too much, to not make others uncomfortable with your light. But the truth is, you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to rise. Rise beyond the doubt. Rise beyond the pain. Rise beyond the old versions of yourself that were built in survival, not in truth. The signs have been all around you, in the numbers, in the dreams, in the synchronicities, but now the sign is within you. You don't need more confirmation. You are the confirmation. Every experience, every delay, every moment you thought you weren't enough. It was all part of the rising, not the dramatic, loud kind of rising, but the sacred one, the silent rise that begins within, the kind where your soul quietly says, I'm ready now, ready to walk in truth, ready to stop hiding, ready to forgive, ready to speak, ready to step fully into who you were always meant to be. Here's your soul awakening insight. Your past doesn't define you. Your pain doesn't own you. Your fear doesn't lead you. You've outgrown the cage they placed you in. You've outgrown the story that says you are too much or not enough. It's time to rise. Not because the world demands it, but because your soul can't stay asleep anymore. You are not broken. You are becoming whole. You are not late. You are right on divine time. You are not lost. You are finally finding your way inward. This is the sign, the turning point, the moment where you no longer wait for permission, the moment you remember you were chosen, you are ready, you have everything you need. So breathe in that truth. Let it echo through your being and take that sacred step forward into the life your soul already knows is yours. This is your divine activation, not a moment of hype, not a motivational high, but a sacred remembrance of why you came here in the first place. You were never meant to follow blindly. You were never created to shrink, to dim, to doubt. You were designed to lead, not from ego, but from soul. And if you've ever felt unworthy of that calling, it's only because your power scared you more than your pain. But hear this: alignment matters more than perfection. Purpose matters more than performance. And being real will always carry more weight than being right. The time for waiting is over. The world isn't waiting for another version of someone else. It's waiting for you, the real you, the broken but rising you, the flawed but faithful you, the powerful you that remembers why the fire didn't destroy you. Awakening insight. The universe is not testing you anymore. It's waiting on your yes, a quiet yes, a bold yes. The kind of yes that says, I may not feel ready, but I am willing. Because every time you hold back your light, someone else stays in darkness. Your voice could be the confirmation someone is praying for. Your presence could be the shift someone's soul needs. You are not just a light. You are the key. But the key only works when it's used. It only opens doors when it's moved with intention. So move, walk, speak, write, lead, not for fame, not for likes, but because you are finally choosing truth over fear, destiny over delay. This is the part of your journey where you walk in your power, not as someone who has it all figured out, but as someone who finally remembers they were never alone. You carry something holy. Your energy changes rooms. Your presence awakens spirits. Your love is a revolution. Your purpose is sacred. And now it's time to say yes, to take the step, to stop waiting for a sign when you are the sign. You were never too late. You were simply being aligned. Now step forward. Walk in your truth. Live from your heart. Move with your spirit. Because the world isn't just watching. The world is waiting for the you that only you can be. So go. Your soul knows the way. Let it lead.